Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'll be showing you how to draft, cut and sew a princess that bustier for a plus size. It is so detailed and beginner friendly. So most people are scared of making a bustier for plus size because of the way it is going to come out. But in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to do that using the easiest method. So if you're interested, please keep watching. So the first thing we're going to go ahead to do is to draft on the pattern paper, after which I'll go ahead to transfer it to my main fabric. The first thing I'll be doing now is to draw a straight horizontal line at the top of my paper. This line is going to be serving as the shoulder line. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to insert the vertical measurement, which is the shoulder to the bust point, shoulder to the under bust, and shoulder to the half length. So the shoulder to the bust point I'm working with for this tutorial is 13 inch, the shoulder to the under bust is 17 inch, while the shoulder to the half length is 19 inch. Once I'm done marking this point, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to draw straight horizontal line like you see me doing in the video. Next, I'll go ahead to label it. So this part here is the bust point, while this part here is the under bust, and here we have the half length. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to move over to the shoulder line. First, I'll go ahead to insert my shoulder divided by 2 on the shoulder line. So my shoulder divided by 2 is 8.5. I'll go ahead to mark it. After marking it, I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope and mark. Once I'm done marking it, I'll go ahead to insert the armhole depth, which is 9 inch. So to get your armhole depth, all you'll be doing is to divide your shoulder by 2, then you add 0.5 inch to it. So in this case, the shoulder divided by 2 is 8.5 plus 0.5 inch is 9 inch. The next I'm going to go ahead to do is to draw the armhole depth line like you see me doing in the video. Once I'm done doing this, the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to draw my dart. And in doing that, first I'll go ahead to insert half of the nipple to nipple measurement on the bust point line. But on the under bust line and on the half length line, I'm going to go ahead to minus 0.5 inch from whatever I inserted on the bust point line. So on the bust point line, I marked 5 inch, but on the under bust line and the half length line, I'm going to go ahead to measure 4.5 inch like you see me doing in the video. So whatever you have on your bust point line, you're going to go ahead to minus 0.5 inch and insert whatever you get on the under bust line and also on the half length line. Once I'm done doing this, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to connect the points together with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So once I'm done doing this, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to take out the dart, and this part is very important. So when taking your client's measurement, make sure you measure the bust correctly and also the under bust circumference. So in this case, the difference between the bust and the under bust circumference of this client I'm working with is 4 inch. So I'm going to be marking 2 inch for the dart I'll be taking. So if it is less than 4 inch, probably is 3 inch or 2 inch, I'll advise you take out 1.5 inch or 1.25 inch as the darts, because the difference between the bust circumference and the under bust is not much. If the difference between the bust circumference and the under bust is 4 or 5 inch, I'll advise you to use 1.75 inch or 2 inch for the dart intake for the client's dress you're making. So when taking out your dart, what you should consider is the difference between the bust circumference and the under bust. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be using 2 inch because the difference between the bust circumference and the under bust I'm working with is 4 inch. So I'll go ahead to measure 2 inch on the half length line, and I'll also be doing the same thing on the under bust line. Once I'm done taking out that measurement, I'll go ahead to connect the 2 points together with a straight line like you see me doing in the video. Next, I'll move over to the bust point line, and at this point I'll be coming down by 1.5 inch from the bust point line. Then I'll go ahead to connect it to the under bust line using the curved part of my ruler like you see me doing in the video. Next, I'll move over to the armhole to draw the armhole dart. And in doing that, the first I'll go ahead to do is to come down by 3 inch. From that point, I'm going to go ahead to come down by 1.5 inch again for the armhole dart. Once I'm done doing that, I'll connect the 2 points together to my bust point line using my ruler like this. Next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to replace the dart intake I took out on this side to avoid shortage when joining the side to the center panel. So I'm going to go ahead to place my taper like this and mark the 1.5 inch. Once I'm done doing that, I'm going to go ahead to extend this line to meet the 1.5 inch I just marked. So this is what the armhole dart is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to take out my bust circumference on the chest line. So I'm going to go ahead to insert my bust divided by 4 on the chest line like this and mark. So after marking, I'll go ahead to measure what I have on that area and mark. Then I'll go ahead to add a sewing allowance of 2 inch on the side like this. So when making a dress for a plus size, make sure you add enough allowance, because there are times that the dress might be too tight and you will need to open it up later on. So make sure you add enough allowance when making a dress for a plus size. So I'm going to go ahead to mark my sewing allowance of 2 inch on this side. Once I'm done doing that, I'm going to move over to the half length line, and on the half length line I'll go ahead to insert my waist divided by 4 and mark. After marking it, I'll go ahead to measure what I have on this dart area and replace it on the side. Then I'll go ahead to mark my sewing allowance of 2 inch. After doing that, I'll connect the waist to the chest line using a straight line like this, after which I'll go ahead to draw the armhole. So this is what it's going to look like once you're done doing that. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to draw my neckline, and in doing that, I'm going to go ahead to mark a neck width of 4 inch and a neck depth of 4 inch also. So you can go ahead to draw whatever neckline you want for the dress you're making. After marking those points, I'll go ahead to connect the necklines together like so, after which I'll draw the shoulder slope. So basically, this is what the bustier is going to be looking like. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to cut it out. So after cutting it out, this is what the front block of the bustier is going to look like. Next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to go over to drafting the back of the bustier. So for the back, the first thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to take out my zipper allowance on the center back. So I'll go ahead to mark a zipper allowance of 1.5 inch on the center back like you see me doing in the video. Once I'm done doing this, I'll connect the points together with a straight line using my ruler like this. Once I'm done doing this, the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to insert my vertical measurement. So I'll go ahead to insert my shoulder to bust point, which is 13 inch. I'll go ahead to mark it. Once I'm done marking it, I'll also go ahead to insert the shoulder to the half length for the back. So when taking your client's measurements, make sure you measure the shoulder to the waist for the front separately and the shoulder to the waist for the back separately, because there is always a difference between the shoulder to the waist for the front and the back. So I'll go ahead to insert the shoulder to waist measurement at this point. Once I'm done doing that, I'll go ahead to draw straight horizontal line like you see me doing in the video. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to insert my shoulder measurement. So I'll go ahead to insert my shoulder divided by 2 at this point like so and mark. After marking it, I'll be coming down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then I'll go ahead to insert the armhole depth. After that, I'll go ahead to draw the armhole depth line with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to take out my bust circumference measurement. So I'll go ahead to insert my bust divided by 4. After marking it, I'll add 1.5 inch for the sewing allowance. Once I'm done doing that, I'll move over to the waist and I'll repeat the same thing. I'll go ahead to insert my waist divided by 4 on the waistline. I'll be adding 1 inch for that and 1.5 inch for my sewing allowance. Once I'm done taking out this measurement, I'll connect the sides together with a straight line like so. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to draw the darts. The first I'll go ahead to do is to extend this chest line like so. Once I'm done doing that, I'll go ahead to take out half of my nipple to nipple measurement on the chest line, on the bust point line, and also on the half length line. After doing that, I'll connect the 3 points together with a straight line with my ruler like this. Then I'll go ahead to take out the dart. So for the dart, I'll be marking 0.5 inch on both sides like you see me doing in the video. Once I'm done taking out the dart, I'll go ahead to connect it to the chest line with my ruler like this. Next I'm going to go ahead to do once I'm done doing this is to eliminate the zipper bulge, and in doing that I'll be coming in by 0.5 inch on the half length line like so. After marking it, I'll connect that line to the chest line using a straight line like you see me doing in the video. This is going to help eliminate a zipper bulge when the dress is being worn. Next I'll go ahead to take out my zipper allowance measurement again. So I'm marking the 1.5 inch like this, now starting from the 0.5 inch I went in by. After marking it, I'll go ahead to connect the point together with a straight line like this. So this is what the zipper allowance is going to look like. So when fixing your zip, make sure you follow the shape on the back. Next thing you're going to go ahead to do now is to replace the 0.5 inch you went in by on the side to avoid shortage when you're joining your front block to the back block. Once I'm done doing this, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to draw the neckline. So you can draw whatever neckline you want, but make sure that the neck width for the front and the back is the same. Once I'm done taking out the neckline, I'll go ahead to draw the shoulder slope, and I'll go ahead to draw the armhole curve with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So this is what the back block of the bustier is going to look like. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to cut it out. So after cutting out the back, this is what it is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to cut out my fabric using this pattern that I've already gone ahead to draft. So I've gone ahead to cut out my fabric, and this is what it is going to look like once I was done cutting it out. And I went ahead to add a seam allowance of 0.5 inch on the shoulder, on the sides, and also on the hem. And on this side, I also went ahead to do the same thing. I added a seam allowance to this part and on the hem. This is what it is going to look like. I also went ahead to cut out my lining while I was cutting out my fabric, and also I added my wording to the bustier. If you don't know how to pad your bustier, I'll be dropping a link to that tutorial in the description box for you to see how to pad your bustier properly. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to join the center block to the side block together. So I'm going to go ahead to place the center block like so. Then I'll go ahead to place the side on it, making sure the good face are facing each other. After which I'll go over my sewing machine to join this side to the center block, and I'll be doing the same thing for the other side and also for the lining. After I was done joining the side to the center block, this is what it is going to look like. As you can see, the cup came out and it's looking very nice. I also went ahead to open up the seam and gave it a good press, and this is what you should have once you're done joining the center block to the side block of your bustier. And I went ahead to draw this simple neckline you see here. So this is what we are going to be having once you're done joining the center to the side block of the bustier. And I also went ahead to do same for my lining. So here I have the lining. I'm going to go ahead to join the lining to the main fabric now, and in doing that I'll place the lining on my fabric, making sure the good face are facing each other. After that, I'll go over my sewing machine to close up the neckline like this. Once I'm done sewing the neckline, I'm going to go ahead to also close up the sides. After doing that, I'll come back to show you what it looks like. So after joining my lining to my main fabric, this is what it is going to look like. I also went ahead to give it a good press, and this is what the inner part of the bustier is going to look like. As you can see, it's looking very neat. So this is what you should have once you're done doing this. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to trim the armhole area, and in doing that, you're going to go ahead to fold your bustier into two like you see me doing in the video, making sure that the sides are aligning. Then you go ahead to trim off any excess you have on the armhole area like this. So you can go ahead to trim off the armhole area like you see me doing in the video. So once I'm done doing this, this is what it is going to look like. As you can see, the armhole area is now equal. So you can go ahead to finish up whatever dress you are making, be it a gown or a blouse. So this tutorial is going to be stopping at this point. The aim of this tutorial is to show you how to cut and sew a bustier for a plus size, and the aim has been achieved. So if you're ready to subscribe to the channel, please click on the subscribe button, and also don't forget to drop a like and a comment. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial.